I've actually been reading some really good books this year, so instead of waiting until the end of the year to talk about them all at once, I wanted to start talking about them throughout the year to recommend books, and I will just create a book playlist so that you can see all of the book recommendations. And today I wanted to start with the Magnolia story. So I will include both fiction and nonfiction. It just happens to be that this is the one I am excited about. I've already finished it and I am ready to mail it to my mom. So I wanted to do the video while I still have it. So I did not know a lot about their story. So if you already know, then maybe you wouldn't like it, but I found it really inspiring as a creative person and someone who runs my own business. So, of course, I just love seeing the book in my house. I might be sad when I send it to my mom. I love just seeing it sitting anywhere, basically. But I love the cover, and so I loved hearing their story. It gives both Joanna and Chip's perspective. It has them in like different font and boldness or whatever. And so that was very interesting. I started reading their magazines a couple of years ago. I saw them at a library sale and they were super cheap, and I was like, okay, this will be nice. I just grabbed a few of them and I read them cover to cover. And so I subscribed after that, and now I wish I could just go back and get all of them, and maybe I can find them online, but I like having them in person. They're beautiful, and actually I have framed some of the pages or cut out other pages as inspiration for my home, like ideas of things that I want to do. So when I saw this book actually at the thrift store, that is when I purchased it. So again, super inexpensive, but the back says, sometimes the messiest stuff and the biggest mistakes can take you someplace wonderful. And I knew they had a TV show, but I did not know how they got started. And it was just so fun to read, and about their like physical locations. And like, I don't want to say too much to spoil it, so I guess I'll just keep this really short, but it is definitely worth reading if you have any interest in any of the stuff that I just said and you don't already know a lot of their story, and especially back from the beginning before they even had kids. It tells how they met. It's just really nice, and it really does focus on like them building their brand and everything. And also, I didn't realize they don't watch TV. Maybe I kind of did. I mean, not that they don't watch it, but they don't have a TV in their home. Maybe that has changed since this book, and it actually made me want to read other books by them and like keep up to date with what's going on with them. But it does talk about how they did get their TV show and like almost didn't, and just lots of cool stuff like that. So it was pretty fast paced. It was easy to read. I just kept wanting to read it because I usually read like 5 books at once, and when I get bored with one, I'll switch to the other. But I kept just wanting to read this one and wanted to keep going with it and finish it, and then also didn't want to finish it because I didn't want it to be over. So kind of crazy, unexpected. I was just thinking like, oh, it'll be nice, you know, a decent read. I won't hate it, but I love it. I mean, it's maybe not the best writing if you're looking for some literary, you know, amazing thing, then it's probably not your best choice. But if you just want a good, cute little story that's inspiring and helpful and about people who are doing creative and amazing things, then check it out. If you didn't know, I mean, they have, I think, 4 children. So I feel like most people know them, but again, I didn't really know all of this. So, oh yeah, and it does have pictures. So it has pictures of them when they were kids, and then her first store and and some of their houses. Oh, so cute. So that was a lot of fun looking through here. Also, their magazines, there are only like 4 each year. So I just imagine having, you know, if you're someone who reads magazines, you just have stacks of magazines all the time, I guess, because it's kind of how, like, I still remember these bags or boxes of National Geographics from my grandfather when he passed, and I'm like, oh, that was just a lot. So I feel like people can tend to hoard magazines, and so I think that's part of why I didn't have them for a while. But once I was trying to be on my phone less, I kind of missed having magazines. And I did know one magazine that I really liked, even as a kid, was Reader's Digest. I would just read like all the jokes in it, basically, from my aunt. And then as I got older, I would read a little bit more. And so I was like, you know, maybe I'll still like Reader's Digest. And I do. And that one comes out 10 times a year. So with this and that, it's enough reading, but not too much. And I do pass them on once I'm done. This one I kept for my guest room. I don't know if I just liked it more than the other ones that I had. But anyway, I may pass it on at some point. But I hope this helps you to read more and enjoy. And same with books, like people can hold on to those a lot and for a long time. But now I basically only keep the ones that I think are pretty to display, which that kind of would be this one. Maybe I'll have to make my mom give it back to me. Or some that I know I will read again. Which actually, even the ones that I read again, they're pretty. Oh, I guess I do have some from my childhood that are kind of ugly. But I do still keep them because they were just fun and hilarious and have good memories associated with them. So I would love to know what you're reading right now and if there's one that's your favorite. And I also do send out an email each week that contains a link to a book that I am currently reading and maybe a little bit of a backstory to it. But I am trying to share only my super favorite ones here. But if you're interested in even more book recommendations, then you can sign up for my email list in the link in the description.